Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Fresh Fiction Video Book Club. I'm Samantha Tennant, and I'm excited for our guest today. It's Jayci Lee. She writes sexy, poignant rom-coms that have me usually laughing out loud at various parts. I first saw her book with, introduction to her reading was with Sweet Mess. That was my first exposure to her, and I've been reading them ever since. With her latest one that just came out, Give Me a Reason. Jayci, it's so good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys, I'm already having a great time. And I have a feeling this might be a tough room. There are many who are not Jane Austen fans, and Give Me a Reason is a persuasion retelling. Be kind to me.
It is a persuasion. I mean, let's jump into that because I have to admit, Persuasion is not one of the Jane Austen books I've read. I know the general story. So in reading it, your book is still fresh for me. But what was the inspiration? What was that driving force for you that you wanted to take Jane Austen as that inspiration in this new novel?
So I love Jane Austen. She is my favorite author. And Persuasion is one of the top two like favorite books between Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion. But I couldn't get Persuasion out of my mind because I wanted to see Frederick's yearning on the page, and I just needed his POV. So I decided to write a dual POV contemporary romance where you get to see Frederick yearning and hurting and wanting Anne really bad, and I am kind of evil. That's why that was my main motivation. I'm like, I want to see that man suffer for
I'm
Anne.
laughing and I feel bad because you're right. I mean, he has such angst, and that comes across as to, all of the pain that he had. And for people who don't know, I mean, this is essentially a second chance romance,
Hmm.
right? And Anne left and she had this career as a K-drama actress, and she's come back to California. And her and Frederick, I mean, it's just like, oh, the angst is just like, oh my God.
Yes, there
All
is
the
a
struggles to
bit
get
of
over the pain. But what
yes.
do you do to bring a fresh voice to this story then?
Well, first of all, I watched every adaptation of Persuasion and read Persuasion like three times over and just brought my voice and my perspective to it as well as modernizing it. Um, for example, I had to give them a reason to hang out together and all these people to hang out together, right? In the Jane Austen era, they went vacationing and staying at this town for like months at a time, or they had the London season. Um, so I had to create a situation where Anne and Frederick, who are very uncomfortable together in the beginning because of the depth of their pain and their past, how did I put them together? I decided to put them in a wedding party. She's a bridesmaid for her cousin. He's a groomsman for his lieutenant. Frederick here is a firefighter, a captain. So, because Captain Wentworth, Captain Nam. Um, so I had to create situations like that. And like when they actually go on um, their bachelor party, I had to actually put in modern obstacles like vacation days and school and work. And um, so I had to work those things in. But I wanted to keep the spirit of the story in many ways. I kept the beat of the original Persuasion, but also it's faster paced. And the voice is mine, which is lighter. And I can't help but this is like more serious than my other books, but I can't help making jokes and being a little silly. Um, so hopefully, people who have read and loved Persuasion also felt give me a reason to be fresh. So even if you have read it, I'm happy to hear that people didn't feel like it's like the same old story.
Well, and you do have those laugh out loud moments in there. I mean, even though we're talking about Frederick having that angst, and also Anne is dealing with, okay, standing up for herself
Mm,
and working her way back. There are these moments where it's just like, okay, I mean, I can just picture it as a movie in my mind, and like when
hmm.
they're at the beach and picking up. I mean, there are so many scenes where I'm just like, oh yeah, just those big sigh moments.
Oh, I
And
love
then,
that.
of course, when they're all kind of tipsy, I'm like, okay, I can definitely picture this.
That's very much JC. It's on brand.
Well, with this one being inspired by Persuasion, I mean, how was this process then different for you compared to your other rom-coms that you've written?
So I am a pantser or discovery writer, whichever term you prefer. I call my method the chief role method, but we'll get into that later. But I this felt a little bit less scary in the way that I usually sit in front of a blank screen. Every morning, I open my laptop and I don't know where the story's gonna really go, right? So it's usually terrifying as well as exhilarating. But here I had kind of a roadmap. I guess that's what people who outline have.
Mm-hmm.
So in some ways, having the original, there was the pressure of, oh my gosh, I have to do the original justice. And yet, I know what's going to happen in the story. So it was hard and easier, half and half like that. I guess that evens out to the same.
Well, that's part of the thing that I find so fascinating, because I would think you have very different styles of writing in a way, right? Because you spent about 15 years as a defense litigator. So
Yes.
anyone that knows lawyers, right? I mean, you write in a certain style.
Hmm.
That's a different way of approaching writing. And you
Yes.
started out writing various books for Harlequin, which
Hmm.
also have a certain beat as
Yes.
to those stories. And then with your other rom coms, like A Sweet Mess that I mentioned earlier, and Booked on a Feeling, and A Dating Dare, they have a different voice. And
Hmm.
then Give Me a Reason with Persuasion as an inspiration, like you said, more of an outline. I would think that's also a different style. And then, of course, your romanticy that we haven't even touched on yet with Nine Tales and the upcoming book. I mean, that would be yet a completely different style, I would think. So, how do you find that you shift between those different styles, or is it all kind of a natural flow for you and you bring it all together no matter what the subject matter?
Um, I have to really get immersed in the book or I'm writing or editing. I can't do two things at once. So let's say I write a lot of books. I've been publishing at least two books a year generally. So I'm drafting a book. Let's say it's a contemporary and I have to edit the romantasy, then I have to stop drafting the contemporary and like deep dive into the romantasy. And the romantasy is first person present tense. So my voice has to change not only in terms of the the je ne sais quoi, what's JC's voice, right? And then there is the actual tense that I'm gonna be using in the book. But I like to write deep POV and
Mm-hmm.
get into the character's head. So it takes a couple of days for me to really feel comfortable in whatever genre, subgenre I'm working on. And it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. I tell my author friends, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have emotional whiplash. Um, I have to like switch back and forth. So like the Harlequins had a certain voice, very dramatic and kind of over the top in a lot of ways. Um, but yet, my modern take on the Harlequin and my rom-coms, I just let go on my goofiness. With Give Me a Reason, it was a balance.
Mm-hmm.
I had my contemporary voice, I had my dual POV, and Anne and Frederick's voices were very different. Of course, they're different characters, but not only that, I had Frederick be the funnier one in this, where his sense of humor comes out more, and Anne is more quiet and contemplative, and that's reflective of the actual characters in the original. So I guess I had to curb my wonky sense of humor a little bit to delve into the yearning. But that's also a part of me where I love that kind of achy, um, yearning, like feeling. Like I sometimes like to watch sad movies,
Mhm.
get in my emotions. So I had to really dip into that part of me. So all of my different voices for my different subgenre comes from different aspects of me. And I think everyone has different sides, right? So it's just who do I lean into more depending on the book. But it's hard. It's
Oh,
hard.
yeah. But tell me also about dipping into the romanticy world, because that was an excursion for you. And when the first book came out with the Nine Tales, I mean, it was one of the Amazon picks. And it was definitely a departure for you. I mean, what was the inspiration behind that? I mean, this was with the Fox Spirit, and you've got
Hmm.
the second book, King Foretold, coming out in what, 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks. Yeah, less than 2 weeks.
So what was it that drove you from the rom-com into the romantasy? Because I love it when authors switch genres like that, because I do follow the authors when they do that, because a good book and a good voice just pulls
Oh,
me in, and I read all different types of genres,
I
and it
love
was
that.
different. So what drove you to this?
So before I got published, I was actually working on Nine-Tailed, and it is the book of my heart. It is so so much of it is based on my childhood, learning about Korean mythology, folklore, hearing the stories as a kid, and also my nickname when I was a little girl was Kumio, which is Nine-Tailed Fox Spirit. So I was just wondering about that, like, what's it gonna, what's it like what would it be like if a nine-tailed fox spirit actually immigrated to the US as a child, like me, and had to straddle being half human, half fox spirit, and half Korean, like half American, all the different um, aspects of straddling different worlds. And this one takes place in the modern world in the beginning and then goes to like a fantastical realm. So just giving this complex layer to the character and adding so much of like my childhood nightmares and fantasies into the story was a lot of fun. And I was really scared to write it because it's so meaningful to me.
Mm-hmm.
But my very amazing agent kind of nudged me back to it when I was kind of done with the Sweet Mess series. She's like, why don't you take another stab at Nine-Tailed? So I went for it, and it's so much fun. Absolutely. It's just so much fun. It's ridiculous. I
How
love
many
writing
books are
them.
you anticipating in that series?
I anticipate it to be a trilogy, and I am really exhausted because I just turned in the developmental edits for Lightburned, which is book 3, on Monday.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, oh, this book is trying to kill me. Because it had to be everything. It had to deliver. It had to be the final book in this epic series. And I had to answer the questions, you know,
Mm-hmm.
tie as many strings off as possible, and just make it fun, the escapist, fun romantasy that it's meant to be. So a lot of pressure. And it was so long. It just kept getting longer.
Well, I'm not going to complain about the long, because I do like long books.
Hmm.
So I will appreciate that. Don't worry.
Okay, good, good. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no, no. always willing to wait on those. But with that too, I mean, have you found, I guess, in the reception of this that you've kind of hit a bit of a sweet spot in timing with everything? I mean, romantasy has really kicked off, and then being able to bring so many different aspects of your Korean heritage into all of your books. I mean, because I mean, K dramas are huge, and I mean, my dad is so into them. I mean, he's always watching K dramas and telling
Oh,
me about the
that.
latest K dramas. So when I was even telling him about Give Me a Reason and that it was a K drama actress, he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Okay, Dad, it's one of my romances." He's like, "It's okay," but there's so much interest. It seems right now. Has that really helped in the promotion of these books?
Um,
I know,
Honestly,
weird question, right?
I feel no, no, no. I totally see what you're saying, and I feel that too. I feel very blessed that my timing, I never write to market. It's not my intent to, and my writing happens way before things are published. So I just happen to hit these like well, I debuted during the lockdown, the pandemic, but the thing is, that's when romance just became like even bigger, right? Finding new generations of readers. Um, and the illustrated covers and all of that just was great. And then I sold Nine-Tailed and suddenly like I think I sold it the same year. So I had already written it, but sold it the same year for Fourth Wing came out, right?
Mhm.
Who knew? And I feel very fortunate, but I feel like it's not finding the marketing. Okay, am I venting? Maybe I'm venting. The marketing has not lived up to what I hope because if if my books, which have so many like K-drama beats and K-drama vibes because I was weaned on K-dramas. I grew up watching that stuff, right? If my books found romance readers who love K-dramas, then it should be jackpot. But I feel like it's not getting to that segment of readers. There are some, but maybe um I'm just greedy. I want more. More. Um, give
We
me
all
a
want
reason.
more. Understandable.
Yeah, give me a reason. Made the USA Today bestsellers list last week. Uh,
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So I shouldn't be complaining, but yet more.
Well, I mean, but of course, I mean, and you because you've been written up in all of these different markets. Also, I mean, you were in Oprah magazine,
Mm.
Harper's Weekly, EW. I mean,
Yeah,
these are all
it's
great
crazy.
things. Yeah.
Cosmo, Daniel Day Kim wanted to produce and star in A Sweet Mess. I mean, I've talked to like Rachel Lee Cook. I've had meetings and it was just like all these dreams and it took me give me reasons my 13th book to hit the USA Today bestsellers list. So mm,
Well,
more.
okay. So with this being your 13th hitting that bestseller list, I mean, what was the biggest surprise for you when you first published, and what's been the biggest surprise for you with this latest book?
Biggest surprise was the pandemic.
Well, yeah.
Um, I think so. I've always been a bit of an overachiever. If I work hard, then and I do well, right? Merit, then I get the award. But being an author and being in publishing, it doesn't work in that linear fashion, right? I put this much work in and I'm getting all this press and reviews and so I get rewarded by making lists or selling ton of books, but it doesn't quite work that way. there's like a secret sauce somewhere that you can't really, it's out of my control. The fact that it is so out of my control was shocking to me.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy. Also, I mean, that it's out of your control because, in a way, I mean, you're creating, I mean, all of this is coming from you.
Yeah.
So you would think it would actually be the opposite in some ways, right?
Yeah, I put out a book. Like, I'm not gonna name names, but I have favorites. And you would think the book I'm the most proud of will do the best, but there are things that happen that, like, for example, That Princess Mine was the book that came out last year, and I received my first like starred review for that, and I loved writing that book. It just flowed out of me, and I said like everything sparkled. It was just sparkly and gave me such joy. And I knew that it's a wonderful book my readers would enjoy who have read my books. And I grew as an author writing that. But then there was a SMP strike where there's a boycott. So literally no one reviewed or posted about it. It was like so silent and there was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So things like that made me sad. My biggest surprise would give me a reason is hitting the USA Today bestsellers list. Um, I was I was stunned. It really was against all odds
Mm.
that it hit the list. It was completely unexpected. So
And it also threw me because this was a different cover style than your other books,
this
which I
one
thought was gorgeous.
I asked for the specific artist
Mhm.
and SMP like came through. And then the artist, I gave her some couple, what do you call it, K-drama posters that I loved and I wanted that vibe and she nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I saw the the art first and I mean I was completely breathless. It was just like I couldn't breathe for a little bit because it was perfect. The yearning in that pic in the cover depicts the yearning in my book, I feel like. You look at that and your heart hurts, and then you read the book and your heart hurts some more.
But it still
Sorry.
has all of that romance that
Hmm.
it's like, oh, just sit down and get together. I mean, just come on.
I know. I know. Sorry, but okay, those of you who read Persuasion, that's how it's supposed to happen. So I couldn't do a retelling and have them get together
I know.
sooner.
Yeah.
So, and then this one, because it's a Jane Austen retelling, there, I guess some books have that, but there's no third act breakup. I feel like I think it's the only book that I don't have a third act breakup. Um, and that's oh yeah, that's very interesting. I that surprised me right now.
Well, let's see what other surprises we can get. I want to switch over
All
to what we
right.
call our fresh fiction facts. Like I mentioned earlier, these are some rapid fire questions meant to be kind of
Oh
off the top
no.
of your head.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
too scary, but
Okay.
sometimes we stump people. You know, that's how it goes. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's start off a little easy.
Okay.
Who would you most want to be stuck in an elevator with?
Oh, just anyone randomly?
Anyone.
Oh my gosh. David Tennant. It's your last name.
And I know the actor, not necessarily my brother David Tennant, although he would be
Oh my
handy.
gosh.
He's super
I'm
tall, so at least he'd be
sorry.
able to get out the door.
I meant Doctor Who, David Tennant.
He's the one that convinced me to start watching Doctor Who. I'm like, okay, if the actor's David Tennant, I got to go with it. You know,
Oh, I
hard to resist.
love Doctor Who. So good.
What is your favorite writing fuel?
Mm, salty sweet snacks. Kettle corn.
Get that nice mix going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, if you encountered them and you knew that they were real, would you rather encounter a ghost or an alien?
Alien. I have I you guys, okay, you're gonna think I'm weird, but I have like a sixth sense thing, and I believe I have encountered ghosts before, and I'm too terrified. So aliens would be kind of cool.
Other than books, what is something that you own a ridiculous amount of?
Wine?
Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. There are a few vineyards near you. Yes, I could imagine that. Yes.
Yes. Like I don't collect shoes. Other than books, wine. Wine is my jam.
What is your favorite cheap bottle of wine then?
Cheap bottle of wine.
Cheap one, like a $10 bottle, your go-to.
Oh my gosh, I have that. I have that. Mm, Cupcake Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Go with that. Yep. I like the apothic reds.
Oh,
Those
okay. It's the cupcake ones aren't as full-bodied, and I feel like sorry, apothic reds are a little too syrupy for me. So the cupcake reds are a little drier.
gotcha. Now I'll take both. I mean, don't get me wrong. So
I know. There's a there's a brand that's really good that they often have on sale at Costco, and it's called Hook and Plow, Hook and something. And it's like 92 points wine spectator. They have a cab and the red blend. I like the red blend. And on sale, it's like 6.99.
oh my gosh.
92 points wine spectator.
See, those are my fun things. I'll go for the cheaper bottle of wine to try out
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
different types.
And I have ones that I celebrate with.
Oh, okay. How do you celebrate a new release then?
New release. Oh, apple pie usually. Apple pie and Prosecco.
That's a good combination. Yes.
It
Okay.
is.
I'm laughing because of the apple pie in the story. So it's like, okay, I can.
I know, right? I'm like, there's wine and apple pie. You see like a theme in there?
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your craziest thing that you've bought online or through an as seen on TV ad?
Cakes. They're called cakes. They're like nipple covers. And they're fantastic during the summer when it's hot, too hot to wear a bra and you're wearing something strappy. Just stick those on.
Hey,
100% recommend.
there are lots of as seen on TV things that I mean, they sound
Uh,
crazy, but boy, do they work. That's why they do so well.
I know. That's what I keep telling my husband. I'm like, they're popular because they work.
What is your most dog-eared book? The one that you're either rereading for pleasure or for research?
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh. Okay, from there I have to go then also, which is your favorite Pride and Prejudice screen adaptation? Go for the big debate.
So here, okay. So I love the 1995 movie, Hand Clench. Keira Knightley is an amazing Elizabeth, but my favorite Mr. Darcy is Colin Firth, which is the BBC miniseries. So it's a toss-up. So I watch both endlessly.
Mhm.
Can't pick.
Yeah, you just got the different aspects from all the
Yeah,
different,
right?
right? Good
So I
evening.
gotta have both, right? My
Right.
snacks are sweet and salty,
Exactly. Well, I'll
pie
throw
and
in there. One of
prosecco.
my favorites is Bride and Prejudice, which is a Bollywood movie musical
Oh,
takeoff.
oh,
Oh yeah,
okay. I gotta watch that.
yeah, yeah. It's another great spin on it. I mean,
Mm, okay.
yeah, that's one I always throw out there because
Okay.
nobody's
Thank
ever
you.
seen it, and I'm
Thank
like, oh
you.
no,
Do you think it's on like, the obvious like Netflix or
it's
Prime?
got to be, yeah,
Okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna look it up.
because it's not all that old either.
Yeah.
That kind of adds into the mix.
Yeah, because my next project, I'm gonna have to watch more Pride and Prejudice adaptations. Hint,
Ooh,
hint.
well, that's a little bit of a tease. Okay. Well, JC, of course, we've got the next book coming out, King Foretold,
Mm,
on August 26th.
yes.
But where else can our readers stay up with you and find out other teasers and what else might be coming up?
Like social media,
Yeah.
Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm on like everything as author Jayci Lee. I resisted TikTok for the longest time, but in June, like literally a month ago, I opened an account because I have a social media fairy godmother who is helping me promote my two releases this year. And she made me reels to post. I'm like, okay, I could do that. Um, and oh my gosh, okay, we're talking about how my timing for my books is somehow like so on target to what's on trend. I don't know if you guys have watched K-pop Demon Hunters, but it's all the rage right now. And I've been posting on threads about things that non-Koreans would miss
Mm.
about Korean culture. And the posts have been blowing up like, I don't know, over 500,000 views, some of them. And the thing is, there are so many parallels between K-pop Demon Hunters and Nine-Tailed and King Foretold, the series. So I feel like Nine-Tailed is getting a second wind and I'm getting new readers.
Oh,
And because like I was at the San Diego Comic Con and did a romantasy panel and Nine-Tailed sold out at San Diego Comic Con. Um, and people are like more, which is good because King Foretold's coming out, so you could binge read to your heart's content. And Light Burned comes out in April, so you don't have to wait like a whole year to get the full like trilogy. So, oh, and I was on a trip to Korea when K-pop Demon Hunters came out. First time in 30 years that I've gone to Korea. And I was obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunter, so I visited almost every location that's featured in the movie and then posted about that too. So yeah, you could find I'm a little bit obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters, but then it's because Korean mythology and K-drama and all of that is so much fun. It's my catnip, and I hope it is everyone's too. So you can find me, author Jayci Lee, everywhere.
fantastic. Well, JC, thanks again for joining us. And for readers and listeners, if you have not checked out JC Lee's books, there are a lot that you can choose from. Like I said, A Sweet Mess was my introduction to her, but her latest book, Give Me a Reason, just released last month. And you can go ahead and pick up the first book in her romantasy series, Nine Tailed. And the next book, King Foretold, is coming out August 26th. So be sure, check them out, read them. I guarantee you're going to enjoy them. Thanks again, JC. It was great to see you.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun.